And to open our 2021 Spring Virtual Conference, we are going to bring you one of the hearts and souls of this company, Arpin International Group. It is my great pleasure to introduce you to Christine Moser. Christine has been with us since 2001. She began this journey as a temp, hired on 9/11, when the attacks happened here in the U.S. Think about that. From the rubble of one of the worst days in recent memory to a decade of great service and very happy memories. How does that happen? How does the human spirit rise each and every time? And how do we do it each time together, not alone? Our theme, as you well know, is together we are stronger. And we want to thank her with sincere gratitude and humble appreciation for not only making sure we did not miss this moment of greatness, but for also sharing it with us today. It is my great honor to introduce you to AIG's Christine Moser, and to let Christine help convince you that great service comes from the heart.
Not everything in my life is happy. In 2005, our house burned down to the ground. We had nothing but ashes. We rebuilt it. We lived in it for 6 months, and my husband lost his job. Recently, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I'm not a person to sit there and, cower in the corner and get myself in a dizzy. I don't run away from things. I don't fear them. My name is Christine Moser, and I work for the Government Services Division, Administration Division, the GSA Division at Arpin International Group. I've worked there with Mark Green since 2001, and actually it was September 10th, 2001, and I know this because the next day the World Trade Center blew up. Prior to coming on to Arpin, I had started as a Wall Street secretary. It was my first job, and it was very interesting to see, the leaderboards and the trades and stuff. Back then, everything was on Reuters teletype. Nothing came in on computers. Went back to college for a while and wound up getting a job as a laboratory technician in a flavor laboratory. My claim to fame is that I actually got a flavor in, back then, Borden, which was a very big ice cream company. I've worked at about, I'm going to say 10 to 15 different companies, different jobs in my life. I had lost the job that I had. It didn't work out. I had a friend who was worked for an employment agency that, as it turns out, Arpin worked with quite a bit. And she told me, she said, there's this company that's in East Greenwich, and they're looking for a full-time person for a couple of weeks. And they said that, but you'd have to work full days. And I said, I really only want part-time work. And she said, well, if this works out, maybe you can figure something out. But she said, if it doesn't, she said, it's only for a few weeks. Do you think you can do it? And I said, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'll make arrangements here and I'll do it. And so I walked into Mark Green's office and told him I'm your temp here for a few weeks. And he said, okay, there are stacks of files over there, start filing. And I kid you not, there were stacks of files. I don't know how many hundreds of them were on the floor, but they needed to be filed back onto the shelves. The day after I started as a temp, the World Trade Center blew up. And my goal was to try to be as efficient at what I was doing as possible and just do my job. So I was filing, and the then CEO of Arpin International came up to me and said, "Have you seen what's happening?" And I said, "No." I said, I've been filing." He said, "No, you've got to go see what's happening." I said, "No." I said, "That's okay. I'll just keep I said, "I just want to get the job done and do it efficiently." And he said, "No, you've got to stop." And so he pretty much told me, he said, "Come on, follow me." And I went in, and everybody was inside in this conference room watching the television and watching what was going on at the World Trade Center. If I was working at any other company, any other place, I would not have been invited, probably, because I was a temp. I was an outside person. Then as I was working and I started seeing emails come across my computer that said things like, "The Arpin family is proud to announce the opening of, or the joining of this company with our company, and we want you to welcome them," and everything else, or "So-and-so has just joined the company as such and such, in such and such a position. Please help us in joining, welcoming so-and-so." And it was something I had never experienced before, a feeling that you belonged somewhere. It wasn't like you were an outsider anymore. You were part of the Arpin group. And that was an amazing experience, something I had never seen before. So I wanted to stay. I really liked the company and what they stood for. In 2005, our house burned down to the ground. We had nothing but ashes. I left a message on everybody's voicemail telling them that I was going to be late. I would probably be working in the afternoon that day because my house burned down to the ground on Sunday and I had some things I had to take care of. But Arpin was also there for us, and they lent us that ability, the flexibility that if I needed it, to go and get things done that I needed to do. And they told me that if I needed financial help, if I needed any kind of help, that they would be there for me. Recently, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, had surgery. Again, it was Arpin there telling me, anything you need, we're here for you. And I had to rearrange my schedule so that I could take care of some appointments that I needed to have, some therapies that I needed to have. Dwelling on how something goes wrong, the problem becomes bigger than you. If you sit there and dwell on it, the problem becomes bigger than you. When you work on trying to solve the problem, you may not have all the answers, but you can usually find someone else who does, or find another way around it. Those messages from Peter that we get are important to me. The last one that he sent out was kept me in focus and reminded me that I need to continue to strive to be better than I am, and that there's always tomorrow, and that if it's not going well now, it's going to get better, and to just keep it on. I stopped for a minute, I listened to that message, and it got me focused again. It told me that I needed to take a deep breath and focus myself back on the work at hand. And everything straightened itself out. But I did send Peter a message explaining to him that I was really, it came at a good time. When Peter asked me if I was willing to, that I had inspired him and was willing to be an inspirational speaker for a project that he had that was coming up, my jaw dropped. I didn't think anything I said to him would inspire anybody. And I was humbled by it. And my response was, I'd be honored. And that's exactly how I feel, honored to have been chosen to do this. I don't think what I've done in my life is anything great, but apparently he saw something in me that I didn't see in me.